I still had Joanna's herbs and started taking them again. I think that was a big help just to get through the next days and weeks. But I started sleeping again, and it was even nice to have a break from this madness, this roller coaster, hot and cold all the time. Me and my husband decided we would start our relationship from scratch again and start to get to know each other again. For them, we agreed it would be best if they stayed together, so she wouldn't feel the need to go after me and my job. We decided as well that he would tell her that we were having lots of arguments and that we were struggling, and that he would make it tough on me, so she would feel some kind of revenge. The next day I was back at work, and my husband started sending me selfies. That was very cute. He sent me many sweet messages and called me to check if I was okay. And I tried to take selfies too, but every picture looked so sad. I could see in my eyes that I was so sad and hurt. And seeing it in the pictures just brought tears in my eyes. I didn't hear anything from Andy, but still every part of my life reminded me of him. The crooked mirror in the gym, my perfume that he liked so much, I just wanted to throw it in the garbage. I started playing indoor bandy, and I barely made it through it without breaking out in tears. We had talked so much about that I will start there, from the first message where I signed up, to buying the training clothes and tricot. It was so painful to be there the first time, and I couldn't tell him about it. I was there maybe 3-4 times, but I got so depressed each time I had to quit. I took dance classes instead, which didn't remind me of him, and I could actually enjoy myself there. And these were just a few things that reminded me of him. I felt like everything was somehow connected to him, or would remind me of conversations we had. And it was the time when you got confronted with the "love is never wrong" banners everywhere. They really made me mad. But when I was with my husband, I would be fine, and we started reconnecting. In the following week, after we got busted, I had the day off and we went to a restaurant. Just the two of us, no child. And he wasn't on his phone all the time, as he used to. He actually spent time with me again. And we had the best time ever. We connected again, and there were actually a few butterflies in my stomach coming to life again. I did not expect that. And I was thinking, yes, we can actually do this. And then messages were ticking in on his mobile. I'm not really sure what she had found. It seemed like she managed to recover deleted messages, and she found a lot of the sexting stuff. My husband asked me, "Is there something I don't know?" And I said, "No, we were flirting and sexting, but we have never actually done it." "I believe you," he said, and he deleted all her messages. And we had a really nice day, and I was very positive that we can fix that. She kept sending messages that she just understood that we had a relationship right until she found out, and that we didn't split up before Christmas as he had claimed, and that he was in on it, that we were sending good morning and good night messages to each other every day, and that she's just so disgusted by him. And she didn't believe that we were only meeting up a few times. We probably met every day. I showed my husband my trainings log. I was training or going for a walk every day before work, but not the days when we would meet up. So I asked my husband to tell her that this actually was the truth, and I said he should tell her about my depression, that it was never about hurting her or anything. And then she replied that this helped her so much, because her husband had a depression after his father died, and from there everything just went to hell. And now it's easier for her to understand. And when I heard that, my heart broke. I didn't know he had a depression. I only saw him with his big smile. I never saw him depressed in any way. I just wanted to give him a big hug. But I was just happy for Andy, because it looked like that things might work out for him after all. and I was really grateful that my husband was so supportive. Me and my mom were talking a lot at that time, and my husband asked what's her take on everything. And I told him that she was very happy that we are trying to work it out. But she thinks it's a mistake that I and Andy never got to talk, that we couldn't decide for ourselves that it was over, that we were just torn apart without any closure, that this might make the healing much more difficult. You cannot be in contact with him, then she really will get after you and your job and she will destroy you. And I replied, I'm not going to do anything, I just told you what my mom said. Things were good between us, but I was struggling. From the minute I woke up, everything was spinning in my head and my thoughts were very obsessive. And when I was alone, I was getting panic attacks. But I still had his pictures. And when things got really bad in my head, I would look at my favorite picture, where you could see the love in his eyes, and I would calm down again. When I was with people or with my husband, things were really good. But when I was alone with my thoughts, it was getting very dark. His wife sent me a message that she would like to hear my side of the story, but I wouldn't interfere. I wrote that I was very sorry and that I would take it back if I could, but I can't, and it's the best that I stay as far away as possible, so that we can all work on our relationships and find harmony again. She wrote that she appreciates that, and I would stay out of it, so it's in his hands. I loved him, and I just wanted him to be happy. And then my husband let me know that Andy was talking a lot of trash about me, describing me as desperate and needy, that I was trying to seduce him and that I had thrown myself on him. I didn't quite believe him. My husband and the wife had all the reasons to tell all kinds of things so we would stay away from each other. But it was still hurting to hear him say that. I replied, if that's what he needs to do to save his marriage, then so be it. And he replied, no, there you see he never loved you. He's just a big asshole. And that makes me even more mad. If it just had been that he was there for you and supported you when I wasn't, that you just felt a need for each other. But he doesn't care about you. He never did. He was just taking advantage of you, and that makes me really mad. And now he's also talking shit about you. I'm so mad. And even she feels sorry for you, since he never felt anything for you. I just turned numb. Looking back, I really don't know how I managed to get through it all. I went to work every day, faked a smile, and no one even noticed that I was just shattered inside. But things with my husband were going very well. He was loving and supporting, and I was trying to hide how much I was struggling. I didn't want to hurt him by letting him know how much I was still attached to Andy. And then there was work. My boss was all over me that I had to stay in touch with Andy. He was our ticket to this company. And now we had no one working there, and my boss said, and we all know that Andy is very fond of you. I had to get this client from my list. I needed help. And even that Magdalena turned on me before, she was still the one I trusted the most at the office. So one day, when Magdalena was going for a smoke, I asked if I could join her. And she understood at once that this was a peace offering. And I could see how relieved and happy she was about that. I said I needed a favor, and that I was in trouble, and if I could trust her. I told her about me and Andy, and that his wife had found out, and that I cannot have any contact whatsoever with him. And Magdalena came through. She supported me. Each time my boss asked me to call Andy, she would call him for me, asking if he needs some carpenters, and the client was eventually moved from my list to Magdalena's. One of these days, me and my husband picked up our daughter from the kindergarten together, and he said, I need to know that you are in 100%. And I replied that I've just lost someone who meant a lot to me. I have to get over him first before I can promise anything. and he said he would give me all the time I need and that he appreciated my honesty. And then one old client returned. I didn't have workers there for 2 years, and now they needed a guy. The project leader there used to be very shy and quiet, but something has changed. He suddenly had a lot to say and started to talk about his children. And it turned out that we have daughters in the same age with the same name. We never talked about private stuff. 2 years ago, something was different. And he made sure to let me know what was different. He was single now. And then I even got a text message, and he asked if I was 24 years old. It was like life was telling me, if you really want out of your marriage and if you really want to have an affair, there you go. And this time we found someone who is single. There was nothing wrong with this handsome 2-meter stud, but I realized this wasn't what I wanted. Initially, I never wanted out of my marriage. I was never looking for an affair, but I fell in love with Andy, and that changed everything for me and my marriage. I was not looking for a replacement for Andy either. There was something very different between me and Andy, and it was only with Andy. So I made sure to keep it professional with the other client. I was not looking for a new affair. 2 weeks into the silence, I had problems with my emails on my phone, and my husband was helping me. He asked for my password, but I wouldn't give it to him because I had Andy's picture saved in an email. I put in the password myself. He didn't react very much to this. I went to bed, and when I woke up early in the morning, I got numerous emails. Someone tried to access your email account from another device. I went in my emails and his pictures were deleted. And the file with deleted emails was emptied as well. I couldn't reset it. I couldn't get it back. I was freaking out. And I wake up my husband. "You hacked my emails?" And he said, "I didn't." I was furious. "Don't lie." And then he said, "I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I just panicked last night. I snapped. I had to know. That's what always happens. Everything is going fine and then the guy gets paranoid and destroys everything. I'm not a psychopath. I'm sorry. I should have given you the time you need so you could delete the pictures when you were ready." And I was just devastated. I can't see him, I can't talk to him, and now I got nothing. "I don't want to talk to you right now. I go for a walk." And I left, and I broke down in tears. It was bad. I wasn't crying hysterically, but when I actually let tears come out silently, things are really bad. I was in so much pain. As long as I had the pictures, I felt still somehow connected, and they would always calm me down when I was about to have a panic attack. But now there was just nothing. Painful nothingness, like it had never happened. My thoughts went really dark. Everything was meaningless. I felt that I can't go on without Andy, but I had already decided for myself that I would not interfere in his life anymore. He was gone. My happiness was gone, and I just felt myself slipping back in a very dark place. And I remember thinking that I didn't want to go on anymore. I just want the pain to stop. I just want to die. But then I remembered that I had sent my favorite picture of him to my friend when I told her that I'm in trouble. I asked her if she still had it, and she sent me the picture back, and I finally calmed down. But this was also a very big eye-opener for me. I was really trying to reconnect with my husband, and things were going very well. But who was I kidding? I was still in love with Andy, and it wasn't fair to my husband either. I had to break it off. When I came back home, my daughter was already awake, so we didn't talk about it then. It was Saturday, and I went to the dancing school with her. I was waiting outside during class, and suddenly I got a message from my husband with a picture of Andy. And he wrote, "I am so terribly sorry for what I've done tonight. I'm so ashamed. I had no control. I know that this won't replace what you've lost, but that was the best I could get. I asked him to send me a newer picture, but he's careful. Maybe you get one more this evening. And I've had such a relief. I thought that Andy still cared about me and had sent a picture after he heard that I had a rough day. It meant the world to me. But then he wrote that he came up with a white lie to make him send the picture, but it didn't matter. It was very sweet of my husband, and he was just so amazing that he would do that for me. But my heart wasn't in it. And I was mad at myself because not only did I destroy everything for everyone around me, but I've also destroyed everything for me. I can't find the way back. I have destroyed the love that I once had for my husband. And now I was going to do the only right thing. I had to break it off. We got our daughter a play date after dancing school and went home to talk. I told him I'm not mad at him at all for hacking my emails. I've done so much worse. I totally understand, and that's not an issue for me. But the whole incident made it very clear for me that I'm not over Andy. Not at all. And that I was so exhausted of everything. And I said, right now I don't want to be in a relationship with anybody. I first have to get through it somehow. And when I'm over him, I don't think I want to continue a relationship with you. He turned quiet. But I can't move out today. I will need a week or two to find something. And I said, no, you don't have to move out straight away. It's not that we hate each other or that we are fighting with each other. I'm very fond of you, and you're a great friend. We can sleep on the sofa and we can take time to figure all out and to find the best way for our daughter as well. I'm so sorry. I'm really exhausted. I really need a nap. And I went to the bedroom. After 1 hour, my husband came in and asked, you want to talk with him? What? And he continued, if you want to, he will call you in 1 hour. I talked to his wife. She will go to her cousin, so you can talk with him alone and get closure. I didn't know what else to say then. Okay. I had to sort my thoughts. I just wanted to know if he's okay. My husband left to pick up our daughter from her play date, and then Andy called. What is it? What do you want to talk about? You're struggling with your feelings? What's that about? There's never been anything between us. We have never been together. This should have never happened. You mean nothing to me. Did you think we would get back together? I was in shock, and I asked, who said I was thinking that? And he replied, why would you want me to call you then? I didn't ask for that. My husband arranged this call because he doesn't know what to do anymore. And he continued, do you think we would get together if you break up with your husband? This would change nothing for me. We will never be together. There was never anything between us. You told me that you had feelings for me. And he said, I've never said that. You said that, and I just repeated whatever you said. I was playing you. I liked the attention, but it never meant anything to me. I was playing you. Who was this person? I didn't understand anything. Why is he lying to me? I was there. I know what happened. I know what he said to me. And I asked him, are you mad at me? It should have never happened. And I repeated, are you mad at me? I've hurt my wife so much, it should have never happened. And I asked again, are you mad at me? And he answered, no, I'm just mad at myself. I was at a very dark place. And I said, and so was I, but you got me out of this. And for that I will always be grateful. And he went back to his angry voice and continued, this meant nothing. I've really hurt my wife, and your husband loves you. It's all good. And this should have never happened. This was wrong and stupid. You mean nothing to me. And I asked, are you aware that we're trying to help you? Each time my husband calls your wife to calm her down, it's me behind it, trying to help you. And he answered, I know, he has been supportive to her, but we are done. I don't want any contact with you. And I asked, is that all you have to say to me? Yes. And I said, as long as you're honest with yourself. Oh, I am. Bye. He hung up. I was in shock. I couldn't believe it. But to be honest, I felt good. I don't know why, but I felt somehow relieved. I was angry, but mostly I was feeling good. And I was very confused. I did not understand what just happened. Was his wife listening? Was he trying to prove something to her? I didn't get it. I was still in denial. I found many explanations to why he was acting so out of his character. I didn't get it then, but I get it now. My husband came home with our girl, and I said, "I'm back, if you still want me." And he said, "Of course."